Letter 12 of Letters from Egypt by Lady Lucie Duff Gordon. Read for LibriVox.org into the public domain. To Mr. Tom Taylor, Cairo, April 18, 1863. My dear Tom, your letter and Laura's were a great pleasure to me in this distant land. I could not answer before, as I have been very ill. But Samaritans came with oil and wine, and comforted me. It had an odd, dreary effect to hear my friend Hekekian Bey, a learned old Armenian, and Deleo Bey, my doctor, discoursing Turkish at my bedside, while my faithful Omar cried and prayed, Ya Rabbina, Ya Satir, O Lord, preserver, don't let her die. Aleck is quite right that I am in love with the Arabs' ways, and I have contrived to see and know more of family life than many Europeans who have lived here for years. When the Arabs feel that one really cares for them, they heartily return it. If I could only speak the language I could see anything. Cairo is the Arabian Nights. There is a little Frankish varnish here and there, but the government, the people, all is unchanged since that most veracious book was written. No words can describe the departure of the holy Mahmal and the pilgrims for Mecca. I spent half the day loitering about in the Bedouin tents admiring the glorious free people. To see a Bedouin and his wife walk through the streets of Cairo is superb. Her hand resting on his shoulder, and scarcely deigning to cover her haughty face, she looks down on the Egyptian veiled woman who carries the heavy burden and walks behind her lord and master. By no deed of my own have I become a slave owner. The American Consul General turned over to me a black girl of 8 or 9, and in consequence of her reports, the poor little black boy who is the slave and marmiton of the cook here has been entreating Omar to beg me to buy him and take me with him. It is touching to see the two little black things recounting their woes and comparing notes. I went yesterday to deposit my cooking things and boat furniture at my washerwoman's house. Seeing me arrive on my donkey, followed by a cargo of household goods, about 8 or 10 Arab women thronged round delighted at the idea that I was coming to live in their quarter, and offering me neighbourly services. Of course, all rushed upstairs, and my old washerwoman was put to great expense in pipes and coffee. I think, as you, that I must have the black drop, and that the Arabs see it, for I am always told that I am like them, with praises of my former good looks. You were beautiful harem once. Nothing is more striking to me than the way in which one is constantly reminded of Herodotus. The Christianity and the Islam of this country are full of the ancient worship, and the sacred animals have all taken service with Muslim saints. At Minia one reigns over crocodiles. Higher up I saw the hole of Aesculapius's servant at Gebel Sheikh Haredi, and I fed the birds, as did Herodotus, who used to tear the cordage of boats which refused to feed them, and who are now the servants of Sheikh Naona, and still come on board by scores for the bread which no Rais dares refuse them. Bubastis's cats are still fed in the Cadi's court at public expense in Cairo, and behave with singular decorum when the servant of the cats serves them their dinner. Among gods, Amun-Ra, the sun god and serpent killer, calls himself Mar Girgis, St. George, and is worshipped by Christians and Muslims in the same churches, and Osiris holds his festivals as riotously as ever at Tanta in the Delta, under the name of Sayyid el-Bedawi. The fellow women offer sacrifices to the Nile, and walk round ancient statues in order to have children. The ceremonies at births and burials are not Muslim, but ancient Egyptian. The Copts are far more close and reserved and backward than the Arabs, and they have been so repudiated by Europeans that they are doubly shy of us. The Europeans resent being called Nazrani, as a genteel Hebrew gentleman may shrink from Jew. But I said boldly, Ana Nasraniya, Alhamdulillah, I am a Nazrani, praise be to God, and found that it was much approved by the Muslims as well as the Copts. Curious things are to be seen here in religion. Muslims praying at the tomb of Mar Girgis, St. George, and the resting places of Satina Miriam and Sayyidina Isa, and miracles, brand new, of an equally mixed description. If you have any power over artists, send them to paint here. No words can describe either the picturesque beauty of Cairo, or the splendid forms of the people in Upper Egypt, and above all in Nubia. I was in raptures at seeing how superb an animal man and woman really is. My donkey girl at Thebes, dressed like a Greek statue, Ward Sham, the Rose of Syria, was a feast to the eyes, and here too what grace and sweetness, and how good is a drink of Nile water out of an amphora held to your lips by a woman as graceful as she is kindly. May it benefit thee, she says, smiling with all her beautiful teeth and eyes. Alhamdulillah, you reply, and it is worth thanking God for. The days of the beauty of Cairo are numbered. The mosques are falling to decay, the exquisite lattice windows rotting away and replaced by European glass and jalousies. Only the people and the government remained unchanged. Read all the pretty paragraphs about civilization here, and then say, bosh. If you know anyone coming here and wanting a good servant and dragoman, recommend my dear Omar Abu el Halawa of Alexandria. He has been my friend and companion, as well as my cook and general servant, now for 6 months, and we are very sad at our approaching separation. I am to spend a day in his house with his young wife at Alexandria, and to eat his bread. He sadly wants to go with me to Europe and to see my children. Sally, I think, is almost as fond of the Arabs as I am, and very popular. My poor ragged crew were forever calling out, Ya Sarah, for some assistance or other, hurt fingers or such calamities, and the quantity of doctoring I did was fearful. Sally was constantly wishing for you to see all manner of things and to sketch. What a yarn I have made! End of Letter 12. Read by Sabella Denton. All LibriVox files are in the public domain. For more information, please visit LibriVox.org.